Spencer Israel, Joel Elconin, Dennis Dick. I sarcastically put the title of today's show, Are We in a Bear Market? Because the S&P 500 was ever so briefly in a technical bear market on Friday. What that probably means is we'll get there again today. The real question of the day, though, is as Dennis asked, and as he will ask again when I bring him on here in a moment, is why are we up? The indexes are all up. A lot of stocks are down. Doesn't make a lot of sense. We'll talk about it. We got some M&A headlines to discuss, some earnings to check out. Big earnings week, surprisingly. Tim Quast is our guest today, so let's get the show on the road. Smash that like. Oh, and if you're watching us on like Apple TV or your smart TV and you can't smash the like button, just hop on your phone, hop on your computer, find us on YouTube, hit the like button there. Let's go.
Coming to you live from downtown Detroit, this is Benzinga's PreMarket Prep with your host, Joel Elconin.
This is a volatile puppy here, isn't it?
And Dennis Dick.
I'm bidding a penny. I will buy the stock for a penny.
With everything you need to start your trading day.
And now I bring on Mr. Elconin. Joel, good morning. How was your weekend, sir?
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic weekend here. Let's run down the indexes and the futures and find out what's going to go on today. We're up 41 3/4 handles, 39.41 1/4. Right up here near Thursdays and Fridays high. Who would have thunk that? Crude into green by $1.16 at 114.44. Gold having a good day, back up to the 1863.10, up $21. Silver, that's up. That's moving with gold today. That's up 40 cents at 22.17. Bitcoin, just, 29.5 to 35. TradeTheRange.com up 11.50 at 30,410. Ethereum futures, they're moving too. They're moving up $103 at 2067.50. So, do you guys remember a couple weeks ago when, I came on the show, I did a rant about Tesla and Twitter? Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
I mean, that was more than one day, but yes, I
No. I mean, I did a major rant, and there was a publication that just I said they jumped the shark.
Oh yeah, the Barron's rant. Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Well, they jumped the shark again. I don't know if you can do it.
You can't jump the shark twice, Joel.
You can. Yes. Okay.
What's the deal? What's the publication?
Okay. Check this out. Okay, we're bearish, right? And the market's going down and everything, and who knows, right? So up and down Wall Street column, I really respect Randall Forsyth, right? Very, very good journalist. Well, this was the title of his article. Okay, I'm gonna hold it up here.
All right. Hold on. What do we got? The bear nears and might not exit until the S&P sinks to 3,000.
Oh God,
that'd be a long ways.
Yeah, that is such irresponsible journalism.
Why?
3,000. That's
3,000.
25. Scaring people.
25.
Scaring people.
Yeah, let's take out 3,800 first. I mean, 3,700. Yeah. I mean, it just made me so bullish. I was so bullish Saturday. I was bullish Sunday. I couldn't wait. And then, of course, the spoos opened up 10 handles. I had to chase a little bit. But I don't know what scenario.
It's nice to be
I'm
bullish.
not saying we're not going there. But to me, that's just, it's irresponsible. It really does. It incites fear.
This is what they want. This is what the media does, though, Joel. This is what it does. It promotes fear of FOMO on the way up, and it promotes fear of, let's sell everything. The world is ending on the way down. I mean, this is what sells. This is all you see. It's why the media is toxic. I mean, you watch, the news, and it's all about, who got shot and this and that. It's like 5 negative headlines, then the weather, then they give another negative headline. At the end, they'll give some type of positive story to try to bring up your spirits.
You know why? Because if it bleeds, it leads, Dennis.
That's it. Spencer knows, man. If it bleeds, it leads. I mean, we do it on the show too. What stock's getting ass kicked? Okay, let's go talk about this one. I mean, if it bleeds, it leads. I've never even heard that before, Spencer. You're exactly right.
That's because it's a news
I mean, if
thing.
we do that, I mean, I then if I'm part of this irresponsible journalism world, then I need to get the hell out of it because I don't want to do that. That's not why we're here. We try and help people, navigate the markets up and down. We don't know. I don't know. I don't feel like if I'm like that, then it's time to hang it up.
You're not like that. You're not. Don't worry, Joel. You're not.
We're
like
just
that.
opinionated.
You're not like that.
We're opinionated. We're influenced by our opinions on stocks. I'm very opinionated on everything that has to do with any type of stock. So what are you going to do? You give your opinions and you go. It's tough, like 3,000. I mean, you're right, Joel. You're right. We're not even close. Like, nobody knows. That's like the Facebook's $15 Barron's article, remember back when that came out because the thing was going down. Everybody wants to incite fear and draw headlines. And you're right. If it bleeds, it leads. So ignore all the fear mongers. Nobody knows anything. We got to go right back to that. Nobody has a freaking clue where we're going to be in 6 months. There's no way to know. We're going to have a soft landing, hard landing. We'd be 3,000, 4,000. Hell, we could go back to all-time highs. Anything can happen. But all we can say is that right now, at this moment in time, there's a lot of things to worry about. Is it taking us to 3,000? I'd be a buyer if stocks went down to 3,000 because then we'd be getting really undervalued in a lot of stuff. So I think just know your portfolio, your comfort levels, ignore these, headlines that try to scare you on both sides. So it's a good point you're making, Joel.
Thank you. And it's all. Do you guys remember the guy that the indicator? I think he passed away. Wrote about this. Paul McCrae Montgomery. I don't know if you guys remember him at all.
No.
Jay Spinner probably will, but he was the one. Like he did it with Time Magazine. He used to do it, with fashion trends and stuff. So, we'll see. I mean, what's in front of me right now is up 43 and a quarter handles, 42.75. Ridiculous rally, that late day rally. Perhaps some of Bullard's comments. Whatever, but man, it's just a nice technical setup here this morning. If you're bullish and you were bullish on Friday, you got some profits to look at. And if you're bearish, then you got to be licking your chops this up opening. I mean, a really nice setup here today.
Yeah, it feels like it's going to give it back to me. I'm just giving the feel. Is it driving us to 3,000? No, but I mean, could we go back to those lows that we had at 380 on SPY there? Just from Friday afternoon. Yeah, that's the first challenge. So I think you squeeze them a bit. We took it out. We hit the official bear market, and then let's squeeze the shorts a little bit because it hasn't been easy. I mean, people think, oh, the shorts are just cleaning up. It hasn't been easy on the shorts either. The fade trade's been working really well in 2022, but nothing's been smooth. It hasn't been like boom, straight down, boom, straight up. It's been just chop. It's the year of chop. That is what is going to continue, in my opinion. You're selling rips, buying dips, shorting rips, buying dips, however you want to do it. But I think, anybody that's trying to project out more than a couple days, there's just too many unknowns to
Fatter comes in here. Why do people pay close attention to the futures? It's exactly what it is. It's the future. It's predicting.
They tell you the future.
I mean, don't you want to know the future?
Pay attention to the future because it's telling me the future.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, like, of course.
Oh man, it makes too much sense.
The stocks were trading, the stocks weren't trading up at 6 o'clock last night, right? It's the ability of large market participants.
24-hour markets.
Yeah, it's a 24-hour market, man. Stocks weren't even open and we rallied. Now, when the big money comes in,
market.
Yeah, it is. That's what's going to happen. I mean, eventually, maybe not in my day. But yeah, stocks have to be around, and then it will really diminish the importance of the futures. It really will when the stocks are open like that. A lot of arbitrage will be out the door. But that's what that would answer that question. But let's get to want to get to some news.
Yeah. I mean, we can talk about. I guess the big story of the day is or the weekend here is VMware, and it's nice to see M&A. Like lack of M&A is one of the telltale signs of a recession, or at least a fear of a recession. So when you see rumored deals, big deals happening, like big money deals, it means all right, there's liquidity in the system, money is flowing, people are not afraid to spend money. Nothing official here this morning, but there is a report, several reports actually from over the weekend, that VMware is close to being acquired by Broadcom. Though I looked several places and I did not see any price tied to this, so nothing official. But I think Bloomberg, I think Reuters, both had it over the weekend that Broadcom AVGO could be acquiring VMware.
Obviously, rumors are rumors. Then obviously, this market gets very excited when it sees a rumor still. I mean, it's just a rumor right now, though, right, Spencer?
Just a rumor.
I mean, on rumors, I see stocks pop 23% on rumors. I sell them. That is what I do. That is what has worked. The rumor might materialize, and maybe you're going to get this crazy takeover like $130 or $140 or $150. But you all of a sudden got a 22% premium on a rumor. And if it doesn't materialize, the stock will start to leak. So I know it continues to go up, and maybe there's something to this, and maybe it's going to be higher. But I think the bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. It's hard to short on these rumors because if they do materialize, you get run over. But it's like, okay, do I want to stick around for the last 10, 12 bucks? Maybe it's going to happen, or maybe it's going to, not happen. We saw, Coles be rumored a lot of times at $60 to get taken out. And obviously that didn't materialize. So sometimes these things just don't materialize. I think bird in the hand is worth more than two in the bush.
Do we have a supposed price?
No,
yet,
nothing.
Right? I think what we've said consistently on this show for years is exactly what Dennis said. I mean, is it going to get taken out? First of all, I couldn't buy it here at 118, right? Because if it doesn't get taken out at 118, it's maybe back at 95, 96. And then with these kind of things, if you have a target at 117.45, that was your target, and you got to take your target, or at least take part of it. And then the longer it takes for these things to to come to fruition, and a little bit more of a leak you get. And I will just tell you with the AVGO, if you're buying this, thinking, oh, the deal's not going to go through and it's going to pop, you got to be careful, because if the deal doesn't go through, sure, or they don't do it, sure, this is going to pop. But it tells the street that maybe they're looking around for somebody else, right? And that they may do some acquisitions. So, that's ugly candle, 53K. Is it right at yesterday's low? Friday's low? That's really all you can go on. That's the only number I got for you. Friday's low, 512.44.
This is what Dennis says to himself every single time there's an M&A rumor out there.
I love rumors.
It was a little quiet.
I couldn't hear it. It was too
Sorry,
quiet.
it was too quiet. All right.
What was it?
It was. It's just like from a movie. I love rumors, but it's too quiet, hard to hear.
I love rumors. They're fun to trade, and they're also fun to sell.
Too quiet.
AVGO, and here's a stock that's been killed. It is a value tech stock. It doesn't even matter at this point in time. They've been hitting value stocks lately. We know that. And AVGO obviously held up better than all the others because it's got a 3.7 or 3.1% dividend, because it's got decent cash flow, because it's got a lower multiple. But as of right now, they're just hitting those stocks. And here it's like, oh, taking over. And now you're like challenging. I think you got to look, right? It's bouncing. The good news is Friday's low, Joel. I mean, we're holding on AVGO. We had a big bounce off the lows.
Yeah.
We're trying to hold that level, 512. I mean, that's your number.
And if I know we don't have a lot of shorters in here, but let's say you did, and you were unbelievable, not that rally on Friday, and you're like, this was at 512. How to close at 543? And then here you're back at 517, 518. Or if you were looking to get long this on Friday and you missed your boat, here's your opportunity.
Another
M&A. I think you'll have more opportunities.
There's actually more than one M&A rumor this morning. The VMware one is coming from Wall Street type sources. This one is a little bit more vague in that we have a report from this website called Puck, which is one of these new
subscription website.
It's called Puck. No, it's
Puck.
I did PUCK. That's what I said. Oh. But it's not a hockey site, Dennis. Come on, it's a
How about those
good? It can be a good hockey.
It's one of these like subscription service like websites that like a bunch of media reporters started, like tech and media. Anyway, they reported that EA has been shopping themselves around pretty hard. They said EA has talked to NBC Universal, they've talked to Apple, they've talked to Disney, they've talked to Amazon. I suspect they saw what happened to Activision Blizzard and they thought, oh, we want in on this action too.
Yeah, we want our stock to stop going down.
Yeah.
EA, this is wow. I look at this and think this stock has come back big time. I mean, here you had a stock that, got killed, and that's 10 days ago. I believe it was after the earnings report. It's come all the way back up. I mean, it is one of the cheaper ones from a multiple perspective, but holy mackerel, you're buying a stock now that just rallied, and EA doesn't normally is 109 to 135 in a week and a half. And now they say they're going to sell themselves.
Well, they don't say that. I mean, just was one.
They're trying to sell themselves.
One article says that, yeah.
Yeah, I would sell it. I'd sell the pop because you've had a nice run back here. A lot of people have got their money back in this thing. You're not even that far from the 150s that we were in 2021. So it's held up very well. That's the good news. The bad news is that this thing was just at 110. It's had a big pop. I think this is a move that's outside the normalcy of this stock. And now you get another lift again. I'd sell it.
I mean, and this is just, Joel, like, just crazy speculation. This has no relevance in the markets at all. But, yeah, they might get taken out at 125 and 120. It could be a take under.
Yeah. I don't think that's
the Undertaker.
I don't think that's what they're going for here.
No. But you don't go to all these places. You don't let it get out to the street that you're trying to sell yourself. Yeah. After this kind of rally, and you go all these places, you look like a cheap. If I own that stock in my portfolio, I would sell that thing so fast. Putting it out on the street, that's almost like the equivalent of that is buying Twitter and putting your Tesla stock up for sale.
Oh, it's
margin. That's where I put that. That's where I put that. Yeah, that stock is down. Do you know Tesla's down 34% since he made that deal official? Or official. You know what I mean by that.
Since he announced he was doing it. Yeah. Yep. That was on that was like a month ago. It was like April 21st, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was 4 digits. Yeah. And the margin strike is 570. I don't know all the ins and out of the deals, but that's what I saw. But anyways, that's what I take a look at. That's interesting for EA, and they're also buying Zynga. I mean, what do they think? That was a mistake or something? And they're
Take-Two is buying Zynga.
Take-Two, and
right.
That deal closed.
Right.
Zynga's gone. The deal actually closed.
That's done.
The close this morning. It's over.
Yep.
So if you're wondering why Zynga ain't trading, it is now officially part of Take-Two. It was some crazy imbalances on that at the close, but it didn't really gap. The Herbs had it.
Man, there's getting to be fewer and fewer publicly traded video game stocks.
It could be taken over. I'm not saying it could, but
they're all merging with each other.
It's been a nice rally, and EA is one of the bigger ones. Like it's not like Zynga gets bought out, Glue Mobile gets bought out. What was the little one PLTK that Pactor gave us?
It's Electronics.
That's been beat up, but I mean it's a small one. Like if you're looking for targets, that would be more of a target, I think, than EA.
Yeah.
So at least that's what Pactor said too, and I think Pactor's pretty smart.
I've never been into a video game. I know you guys like them and stuff, but
I haven't played video games since a little kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I stopped playing when I was 16, learned to drive a car, and I was like, I'm done with video games. Drive a car. Why the heck would I play a video game when I can go drive a car?
Oh, you know what I did used to like? Those games where you would like, those racing games, where you would drive the car and be in races. You guys ever do that?
Small poll. Which one did you like? You're probably going back to like Atari, though.
No.
We all like those games.
We're on Rad Racer on Nintendo? Rad Racer?
Mario Kart? I don't know, but then you hit something and the car flips over and you smash and.
Well, that's all those games.
Yeah,
we're always hitting something. The car's flipping over.
All right, stonks.
All right, let's talk about Zoom for a second here. I couldn't believe it when I saw that Zoom hadn't reported earnings for the quarter yet, but no, they report earnings tonight, and I don't know how they can say any. I don't know what they can possibly say that will make the stock go to like 100 tomorrow, right? Like the expectations really cannot be any lower for this thing. I guess that's the good news. Is the
That
bar
is the good news.
I guess the bar is low, extremely low.
Need a new product.
Yeah,
I need something else.
ARKK stocks have been holding up well. We've been talking about this. This is an ARKK. I know she still got in there, but it's one of those stocks that just fits in that whole portfolio of, super, expensive. But obviously Zoom came back in with its earnings, but I still don't know. I think competition's coming, but I don't know. I mean, it's held up. There's a lot of stocks that look a hell of a lot worse than Zoom now. I mean, not if you look back 3 years, but if you look back in the last 3 weeks of trading,
yeah.
Zoom's been holding up. It kind of looks like ARKK put 3 lows in the same area, 84, 84, 85, just the last 3 days. If it says anything okay, I think it could pop up over $100 because the expectations are very low. Am I going long into the report? Hell no, because I know what happens when they miss. If they miss, the thing gaps down 30% on you, and you're like, ah. So I'm not touching it ahead of the report. When is the report? What day?
Tonight.
Oh, it's tonight. I do have it on my list today.
Yeah.
Look, it's tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I'm out. I'm not going to. It's too much of a gamble taking a stock like this through earnings. It's going to be wild.
Right. If just for some parameters, 79 to 95, right? 89, 16, 8. So 86, 87, if you feel like you need to own this thing that's just above these lows here, and lean on the low of the move. I think on the upside here, and there are some crazy algo will interpret something good about it. You can bet on that. 95 and a half, things kind of open up to the century level. So I'll just make it tight going into the report. ZM, I like it. I use it, but I guess not too many other people do.
You know what? Actually, Dennis said that hands off Zoom is too wild. Zoom is probably going to be less wild than some of these other reports this week, like the retailers specifically, like Nordstrom, which is tomorrow, right, and Costco, which is on Thursday, and the Gap and American Eagle also on Thursday, and Ulta Beauty. I don't know if you guys saw what happened to Ulta last week, but I mean, train wreck after train wreck after train wreck. Big Lots on Friday, right? So I'd be even more concerned about that because that's where ground zero was last week. It was not in growth tech. It was in retail. So
yeah, they've moved on. We've said, how they kind of came for all the Cathy stocks the last year. They've given them some, just lay off those, and now they're selling everything that hasn't been sold. I mean, you can go just as far to look at Procter & Gamble chart, which we talked about and warned on this stock at 162, 163 multiple times, that eventually they were coming for it, and they did. And now you look at it at 142, you're like, what happened? They're coming for everything. In a bear market, they eventually come for it all. If your stock's sitting 3-4% off the all-time highs, I think you sell it because they're coming for it.
Yeah, I mean, that boat is pretty full on the short side on these things. So if you don't
those
get
ones
that,
have been hit. I mean, I'm not.
I'm talking about the retailers.
Yeah,
like if you're loaded up on the short side, you're going with the trend. Any, just be on your toes because they're not all going to tank like that. They're not every single one is going to go the same.
Right.
Nordstrom's
Right.
is not going to go to 15. I'm not going to say not go to 15, but I mean, so they're gonna rally something. I mean, little different market environment too, folks. I mean, at least for today, right? At least for today, if we can hold up, have a decent day, it's not a bad day to report, right? Whereas last week it was like, oh boy.
Do you think we're going to hold up today?
There's the rub, right? Because the stocks are.
Do I think we're going to hold up today?
Stocks are mixed, but the markets, the index.
Yeah, there's a lot of stocks trading in the red. You come in, you're like, rah, 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 stocks are awesome. Like when you see something like this, then you look, well, Tesla's trading in the red. Nvidia's trading in the red, thanks probably to AVGO. AMD's in the red. You got Kohl's in the red again. I'm getting my butt kicked on that. Shouldn't have taken that position in the long-term portfolio. You've got a lot of stocks, like not a lot, but you have some stocks that are not participating here this morning, and it's concerning.
What I'd rather see.
Even looking at the Qs not being up as much as the SPY is concerning to me too. Usually Nasdaq's leading, the higher beta, and not this morning. I mean, some of these stocks are lagging, so I don't know what to say. It's a tricky morning to just trade, but you're looking here and you're thinking, is it going to hold up? Or are they going to pull the rug out from under it again? I'm not going to gamble against the sell the rip because it's worked so often.
You know what I'd rather see today? for the more constructive of a bullish day, I like to see us back off here and close up like 10 or 15 handles. Defend the close. I really don't want to see us if this is going to be a good sustained rally. I don't want to see us take out the pre-market high, go to 39.70 or 80, and just run. I'd rather us come down here, be quiet and calm for a couple days. Maybe have an inside day, kind of
That's
like
never happened, and that's maybe why you're not getting long, Joel. We don't have that.
I know.
I mean, we've had it in ARKK. We've had a nice calm consolidation. I mean, if you want to find it, there's pockets to find it in, and those growthy techs, we've had that. We had it in ARKK. I mean, look at these ranges in ARKK. This is just impressive. Again, the setup here, and it does have the tendency to do this kind of stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lows, all in the same area, and then you get the highs kind of all in the same area. Like, it's such an interesting little chart. We're just looking at the last 6 days, the daily. And you just look at, I don't know what you're looking at the top right
That's
corner.
Great. No, I got it
right
there.
corner.
It's right there.
Yeah. It's like just sitting here in consolidation station. Give me the direction, because there's a big battle between the bulls and the bears here on the growth tech, and it wants direction. Maybe Zoom's going to give it direction tonight. Maybe there's going to be, there's a few other ones, growthy techs that are reporting. We got NVIDIA and Snowflake and Splunk reporting this week. There's a few growthy tech stocks reporting. So maybe that's what it wants direction from. But right now, I would say on the ARKK, so far it's still holding that Thursday low when it felt like it was the washout in the growthy names. So that's one good news for the market. Bad news is everything else is rolled over.
Wait, Thursday low or Friday low? You mean?
No, I'm going back to the Thursday low from last week when I tweeted out 10 minutes after it happened. I said I think we just saw the washout in the growth tech. So I'm still holding. That's still working. That trade that I tweeted out 7 days ago, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days ago on Thursday, May the 12th.
Oh,
the washout. I got you. That low, the very low.
Yeah, I got it.
We have held those lows.
Yeah.
On growth. Nothing else is held. S&Ps have taken out the lows from the Thursday. There's been a lot of others. Qs took it out on Friday. Apple's definitely taken it out. Amazon, the big ones. But the growthy, Kathy type names are still holding up. And that gives me some hope. It doesn't give me a lot of hope, but it gives me some hope that there is some buyers buying some things now. And maybe, just maybe, they washed these growthy tech names out just too much.
There is some buyers buying some things.
No, but buyers buying nothing. I mean, we're going to 3,000 according to whatever publication that was from. I don't even remember now. Your publication you showed there. Who was that said 3,000?
It was Barron's.
It was a very respected writer. Yeah.
Barron's again. Barron's comes out with these targets that
Randall Forsyth. I mean,
don't come to
I didn't even read the column. I didn't even. You know what? I still keep in my subscription, but it's just like I, flip through it. Boom, 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 boom. All right, headlines, and then it just kind of like whatever. Throw it out on Thursday and wait for the new one on Saturday. All right, S&Ps are still holding up here, up 38.75. Battling with, we had pair highs Thursday and Friday. I know you want to look at the pre-market high at 55.5 and think that's a number, but it's really not. The real number is 49.5, and that was your high from Friday. And we all know what happened after we hit that high from Friday.
The thing that jumps out to me on the ARKK chart is like if you were like on a relative basis it's held up very nicely, but if you're if you're buying it say on I don't know May 13th or whatever or any one of those days and buying it for upside, you got chopped into a million pieces, right?
Yeah.
Like if you had hard stops out there, right? If you're trying to really be tight with your risk, so it ain't as easy as that chart would imply. When you're on day 1 or day 2 of that trend.
Nothing is easy. Nothing in this market. And again, you won't find this on Twitter because you're going to hear about everybody who sold the stocks at the top. Remember, it's toxic though. And majority of people on Twitter will talk about their winners, but they will not talk about their losers. They're not necessarily lying, but they're spinning the truth because they say, oh, I had a great trade on that. But they'll ignore, the 90% of trades that have been getting them killed all year. So, I mean, that's what Twitter is, and it has, again, what I've said before, it will make you feel bad about yourself. So try to avoid comparing yourself to the perfect traders on Twitter, because you will never beat them, because half of them are not talking about their losers, or maybe more than that. So don't try to compare. Compare yourself to the S&P. Compare yourself to the real indices out there. Don't compare yourself to your favorite guru on Twitter that's telling you, oh, how easy this is, because it's not easy. And they are just spinning the truth, because they probably are sitting on a portfolio of losers. They'll talk about the winners. Well, those are paper losses, so that stock will come back and I'll make money there eventually. Now, they're real losses, you idiot. So, I mean, this is just the way it makes you feel bad about yourself. So I'm just trying to say, don't try to compare yourself always to all the special traders on Twitter, because they're maybe not as special as you think they are.
Just the extra special ones.
Huh.
Right. It's 8:31 here. We'll have Tim Quast hop on in a few minutes, do some market structure talk, as he does every single Monday. Let me go back to my list here of things that were on my list.
Before you do, just another thing that Rob and I talked about at 10:30 on pre-market prep with stock odds is you had an expiration. And Rob was going to go through, that he's been trading for 33 years and watching a lot of expirations, and he's going to go back and note like how often, like on the expirations. And I know a lot of the expirations take place on the close, right, for the options, but there's a lot of unwinding and a lot of things that go on. And often on an option expiration, whether it's a quarterly or a monthly, a lot of times the higher the low is made near or at the open of the session, and that was certainly the case on Friday. But just wanted you to note that. All right, what else you got? We got 3 minutes till we got Tim come. Are we giving him next Monday off?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
And Dennis, don't you?
I was supposed to get this Monday off.
Yeah. What's the holiday?
I know
today?
It's Canadian holiday today.
What is it?
Wait, you mentioned, or no, not you. Somebody at work at Benzinga mentioned that it's Victoria Day, right? No.
What are you saying?
Wait, what's the holiday today?
It's it's Victoria Day.
Okay, so somebody at Benzinga mentioned it was Victoria Day, like today, or they mentioned this a few days ago, and I almost messaged you, but before I did, I Googled it, and I was like, I actually Googled how big a deal is Victoria Day, because I didn't know like how big a holiday.
Pretty big deal.
It didn't seem like it's a very big deal, honestly. It didn't seem like
it was a May 2 for a weekend.
It didn't seem like it was a big deal to me. I Googled it, and it didn't seem like it was on the
what
level.
What do you do? Do you go talk to
drink
people named Vicky? What do you do?
You're supposed to drink beers. It's May 2 for you get your 2-4 and you go drink beers on Victoria Day.
I almost texted you like, are you gonna come on Monday? Even though I knew you were.
I know I shouldn't have showed up.
But then I was like, no, this doesn't seem like a very big holiday to me, so I'm not gonna say anything.
It's a very big holiday, Spencer. Right. This is one of the holidays, Mr. Israel.
Okay. I stand corrected on that. Real fast.
Queen Victoria's birthday.
Yeah.
I've been to Victoria Island. That's a pretty nice place. All right, let's go.
Okay, so just real quickly, just so everyone has them on their
radar. The tech trade is not going well.
Hold on, there are just a couple of, I guess you could call them like monkeypox stocks. I just want to give you the tickers here, so you can't say we didn't talk about them, because we are doing it right now. SIGA is your big one. SIGA Technologies, and I have no idea as to what these companies really do, if they have anything at all, but you can just look at the price action for the past couple of days and judge it for yourself. SIGA is the big one, and actually that was the big one. SIGA and then EBS was the other. EBS. Those are the two big ones that I saw from Friday, and putting them on your radar. SIGA and EBS. And
so these are your like, oh yeah, this is it. This is where, and I mean, these things can get silly, man. We've learned the hard way. You think, okay, well, this is dumb. I'm going to short this thing, and then it's like $20 in your face.
Yep.
So you got. Well, let me write them down here again, because these are trading vehicles here for you, folks. SIGA. Not saying go long them. I'm saying you can trade these things, but what's the other ones?
EBS.
Just two of them. These are the monkeypox stocks.
You can also do like what's it? Is it Chimerix or Chimerix? CMRX, but that's not as
CMRX.
Yeah. What is the over under on CNBC doing a segment on monkeypox stocks?
Oh,
do you think they'll do it today?
Probably. Yeah.
Today?
They're going to take it from us.
Yeah, the producers. The
No.
producers.
Like, oh, this is a good one. We were watching
You know
pre-market
what?
prep. Let's go do this.
I think I know who the producer
Oh,
of
wait,
watches the
CNBC
show?
is in the chat.
wait.
I think I figured it out.
It's
Spencer,
amazing
I'll
how we
tell
go
you
off
later.
topic and then
Hold
it
on.
shows up on
The
CNBC
chat's
later.
good. Hold on. The chat's good though, because I got a couple that I didn't see because they're lower price stocks. So GOVX, I didn't see that one.
GOVX.
Oh, you know
Oh,
our
that
chat.
got a Maxim. Wait, GOVX has news too, though. There was Maxim out with a price target on that one.
Okay. Thank you for that, Irish Looper. And I don't know what that's not a stock where you just put in there. So and then there's one that's OTC, but it's not very liquid, so I'm not even gonna bother. It's in the chat though.
Okay.
BVNRY. Okay, so
keep your eye on the pre-market highs for these if you're looking for targets and things like that. Also if it takes out that pre-market high and then doesn't hold, I can't look at any of these things to buy. You guys are on your own. Drill down on your short-term charts.
All right. It's 8:36 on Monday. You guys know what that means.
Bushwhacker time.
Tim Quast, CEO, Market Structure Edge, joining us here on Pre-Market Prep. Mr. Quast, is there still snow on the ground? Is what I want to know.
There's snow in the sky, rather than it is snowing right now.
Oh my goodness!
It was a great weekend actually, but it is snowing hard.
Did you hit some slopes?
Only a foot. We were out hiking. Actually, the conditions were lovely, but the storm came in overnight, which was perfect, and so we'll take the moisture. But it's snowing in Steamboat.
Wait, so it snowed hard on Friday. It's still snowing 3 days later.
Correct.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
So that snow like 365 a year there?
It can snow 11 out of 12 months.
That's a good thing and a bad thing. If you like skiing, that's awesome. If you hate snow, that's not the place to live.
Wow.
Right, but the weather is remarkably good. So you can have snow, but then the day could be 60, 65 degrees.
That's
so,
unbelievable. You have the best of both worlds. It's hot and you get to ski.
Yeah, but don't tell anyone. We don't want the word getting out.
I'm coming to visit, man. I'm coming to visit you.
Come on, anytime.
All right, Mr. Quast, what's on your radar? Actually, no. Before I ask you about this week, give us your assessment of last week into and through the options expiration.
Well, and Dennis, I heard you talking a little bit about I think you were talking about monkeypox stocks and that how CNBC would imitate you. So my key takeaway from last week was how pleased I was that CNBC actually paid attention to options expirations. And I heard Mike Santoli mention it again this morning. So finally, it's getting through to people that this matters. I think the good news is we survived them. I hope that if I would look back at the things that we talked about, Spencer, on Monday. One of those being Verizon. That's the kind of they weren't all good. Pepsi didn't do too well, but Verizon did very well. That's the kind of thing that you want to, if you're going to trade during options expirations, that's what you want to hold. And the reason it's so challenging, traders, is because people reset derivatives, which are implied supply and demand, and it can vanish or manifest instantly because they are a right but not an obligation to do something, and that's why it's very challenging. So you have to go into those periods knowing that condition exists. And then Spencer, today, new options trade. So we're not out of the cycle. It's Wednesday when we're through the period. So Tuesday, we call it Counterparty Tuesday. That's when the banks and the other parties to the things that lapsed last week and reset today get squared. And so if we get through that, then we could have maybe a decent stretch. We'll see.
And then, so as far as drilling down a little bit deeper here into the sectors or the stocks, or if you could pull up the watch list here, what are you watching this week?
So I'll tell you the interesting thing to me, and Edge Mob, you know this, that you can look at what we call big and stable stocks, which we put on the platform for folks. It's automated, and then what we call momentum, and it can help you understand whether money is focused on managing risk, or is it more interested in taking risk, right? You could use the old, I don't like the phrase, but it's what everybody uses, risk on, risk off. So Big and stable would be risk-off stocks, and there are only 10 of them. So that number has come down. Notice that the demand stays right around 5 and supply is declining. That's the kind of stuff that you can ride through rapids aboard. Then on the momentum side, there are only 3 in this portfolio. It will look for things with extreme demand and falling supply. While there are only 3 in that group, that is an improvement. It's basically if there was 1 last week. So there are some indications here of a shift in where money is going to go. I like to go look at the semis, look at the semiconductors, improving demand. Supply is too high, but the demand side is improving. I like to look at the tech sector to see, well, what's happening here? Tech sector looking better, but supply is still high. Then I like to look at what we call diverging liquid up, and this is how I do it. I'm going to go look at diverging liquid passive. Where's the passive money going? Well, it's going to tech, and the demand side looks pretty good. The supply side looks pretty good in this group of 40. So I'd look at that and say there is a chance. That's not great, but there is a chance that money wants to buy growth short term. It might only last until the end of the month, but those are signals that I will go look at. I like to see, what broad sentiment is, what the context is, and then where the money is going.
Tim, would you mind just leaving and coming back because your mic is having some crackling noises, and I don't know why. I suspect if you just leave and come back, then okay, it'll work itself out as it normally does. So we'll bring Tim back on in like just another couple of seconds, and because I hear the crackling too.
Yeah, I was hearing it too. I even muted myself. I didn't know if it was.
I know. I was on it too.
It's just enough to be annoying.
We're trying to mute ourselves because we're like, is it me?
Here, wait.
I know. I did too. I'm like, I'm hitting my thing. I'm like, well, what do I do now?
Yeah, no, it's just enough to bother me, but not enough that I can't understand what he's saying. All right, let's see if this is better. All right.
Take 2. Is it better?
Maybe.
Now you're distant.
Not really.
No, actually, it's
actually.
You know what?
Run with it. Run with it.
We're running with it. We're rolling with it. We're rolling with it. All right.
The show must go on.
Show must go on.
Okay.
Okay. So let's get the screen back up there, Tim.
Okay.
And let's look. Let's go back to that page we were on.
Okay. So I think we are still. Is this still being shared? Do you still see it?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go here. Let's go to, there's Benzinga May 23, which it is. And we can talk about some things in here that look to me promising. So notice that the demand side is rising, supply side is falling. That's the kind of condition you want. That's what you want to trade, because it doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter what inflation is, what monetary policy is, whether there's monkeypox or proxy wars. If you trade diverging supply and demand, you can succeed. And so I look at this list. I look at this list and say it's a curious basket, because you can look at Verizon's. I've kept it here so that we could see how that has worked out. But there are things like EQT, which is an energy play, natural gas play that looks pretty good, and Philip Morris. And you would say those things are contradictory. They are, and I think that's a good indication of where the market is. There remains uncertainty in the market. And so here, look at Philip Morris. Don't look at price. This is price right here, just closing price, and it went down a couple of days ago. Look at the demand side and the supply side. All things being equal, the probability that condition produces returns in the next several days is extremely high. And that's what you want to trade. And the curious thing to me is that you have this contradiction between a stock like Massimo, which is a healthcare stock. So I would put that more in the growth category, and a Philip Morris. So here's Massimo. It's got very strong demand and falling supply. The likelihood that produces gains is, again, very high, but they're two opposite trades. And maybe that kind of thing works out. We'll find out. But those are 2 great examples looking at market structure that you could consider.
Wait, when you said tech is looking okay, I think that's what you said, right? You said tech is looking okay. What tech specifically?
Let's go have a look. And by the way, you can always go look at things like VMware and Qualcomm. all the talk this morning is about this deal rumor. Well, you can look to see if those conditions exist, and we can come back to that. But if I just look at tech, here's what I would do. You go down here to the tech sector, and you narrow it. What you want to do is look at things in here that meet the criteria that we always want to follow, which is you want rising demand. So we look at the D trend and say we want it to be up. We want it to be north of 5. So maybe we just bump up here to 4.7. I like to trade things that are very liquid. So I move my dollars per trade up to call it $5,000-$6,000, and maybe the supply side that is lower. So that brings us down to 9 stocks just like that I would look at, from SAP to, believe it or not, even Applied Materials, which didn't do well last week. But maybe the supply demand chart will give you opportunity. But it's that easy to narrow things down to. That's how I think about it. I don't think about the fundamentals, the technical patterns. I'm just going to look at supply and demand, and the optimal ones would be stuff that has rising demand and falling supply.
All right, I see a couple questions from the chat, and yeah, I agree with the chat. I do think, Tim, your mic is hitting up against your shirt whenever you move. I think whatever,
okay,
like on your collar or zip or whatever. Someone asked about AMD quickly, so let's look at that one, and then we'll let you hop.
Okay, so if we look at AMD, which one of the great retail stock, people love this stock, right? It's just no question that there's a lot of fixation on it. Right at the moment, it might work. Why? Well, here's the demand side, and here's the supply side. It's too high. I don't like to trade things that have more than 60% of their trading volume coming from borrowed stock. That's what that means. So traders, very important to understand, market makers can just create stock. You could have shareholders of AMD who don't buy or sell a single share, and the price can move wildly because market makers just manufacture stock to fill rising limit orders. So it's a very challenging trade. But if you're going to trade AMD, you want to buy rising demand and falling supply, and those conditions do exist here.
All right, Tim Quast runs Market Structure Edge. The link is on the screen, marketstructureedge.com. He joins us every single Monday. Tim, always a pleasure.
Back at you.
Oh, no, talk to you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay. All right.
Next Monday.
I'll miss you guys.
Next Monday is a holiday.
That's right.
That's right.
All right. Right.
Look at that.
All right. I always hate it when holidays come along and interrupt market structure.
I know. It's the way it goes sometimes.
Have a good one. Tried to do it today, but we balked at it.
No. Only U.S. holidays here. Sorry. All right. 8:48. You guys want to do some ticker time? If you have any tickers for us, drop your questions into the chat. And we can spend some time on it for the next couple of minutes. Yes, next Monday is Memorial Day, so we won't be here, but that's I'll remind you guys on Friday.
It's such a tricky day. I get some tickers, but I'm just looking, and it's such a tricky day today because you got some stocks that are really getting hit here. I mean, now Tesla's down $6. Nvidia and AMD are not having a good morning at all, and that's got to be thanks to Broadcom being down that much that they're just starting to hit 90. But I mean, there are some stocks not doing that well here today. Some of the growth tech stocks are not looking that healthy here this morning. And then you got other stocks that are, doing pretty well. But I'm challenging this rally.
I'm looking for like tickers in the chat that have interesting charts. This HPQ chart is actually pretty interesting to me. This is what Warren was buying, right? I think. Or was that?
What's happening with that today?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that is there a headline HPQ?
I didn't see it.
It's trading down 3%. That's a big move. It's got to be something.
No, I'm looking. Hold on. I don't know.
It's got to be something. We're going hunting HPQ.
I didn't. Well, first of all, who sings the song? Very famous song, "Another Tricky Day."
Oh, wait a minute. I don't know the answer to Joel's question, but to Dennis's question, couldn't this be a move with Broadcom?
You think Hewlett Packard off Broadcom?
I don't know, Joel. What's the answer to your question?
The Who.
Oh, sorry.
You ever heard that song?
I think Citi downgraded it.
Citi downgrade.
Okay.
When Warren
I don't have
bought
confirmation
this
on that yet, but I just asked another trader And they said City downgraded it, so I don't have confirmation on that yet.
When Warren bought this, I didn't have a warm fuzzy feeling when he bought that, and then the counter move. Sometimes you look at the chart, sometimes it makes sense. This one didn't. And what now? You're down $1.50. I don't know about City. I'm just going to go to the monthlies here, and this is what you got to keep an eye on. Haven't breached that. This 33.21 right here, right now. This is big. This big area. This was the monthly low. This did have pretty good relative strength up until this month. So under that 33.21, we'll see how it, just today, the next couple sessions. But I might think you might get a look at 30 in this one if it doesn't hold this 33.20.
It was downgraded by Citigroup here this morning. They see limited upside given PC demand moderation. So they were fighting Warren Buffett on this.
I saw that.
It's downgraded to neutral.
Shoot, I saw that, but it was like right when I woke up, and I didn't retain that information. So
yeah, we got to get that in the pro if it's not in.
I know it went in one
ear,
Brent, the other.
Maybe he just put it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's your reason for HPQ being traded down here. I mean, it just goes to show you can't even chase the best. You can chase people, but here's Warren Buffett, who is basically the best out there. You chase them though, and you're buying it way higher than them because the day we find out. The stock goes, he buys at 35, the stock goes to 40. So down here, he's almost, he might be even scratch on it, but you're down because you chased him. You can't get his price because by the time you know it, it's up 6-7%. So it's tough to, chase these institutional money managers because they're, when they have the influence that they do, you're always going to be buying at a worse price because it comes out 3-4 days later. You had to disclose, and then we find out, or some cases we don't find out until the 13F is filed. It could be 45 days later, and everything has changed since then. So HPQ trading down because Citi downgrades it. I mean, Warren probably not happy here this morning. There's value here, but again, it's a value stock market that is not doing very well right now. The value stocks have been getting hit the hardest in the last a couple weeks because they're coming for everything and they're coming for value now.
I think that this stock is a little bit more susceptible to ratings changes because this had the just before Warren bought it or that was announced, there was a downgrade, and for similar reasons. Was it Morgan Stanley that nicked it? I'm trying to find it here. I could give you the day that Morgan did it. It was I just want to make sure it was the same firm. The day Morgan downgraded it, it was March 30th. Was it Morgan that did that?
March 31st.
March 31st.
It was Morgan. Very good. Underweight.
Yeah, so pretty susceptible earnings. Had the big follow through there, and then Warren came to the rescue. So I don't know. It had pretty good follow through off that last downgrade. It got a lot of people stuck long.
All right, let's look at Nike from Mish here, coming off of Foot Locker's surprisingly strong report on Friday. Although Nike and Foot Locker are I think Nike is moving away from Foot Locker a little bit. But the Nike chart, I mean, I guess the good news is you have a clear level, right? I mean, 105. That would be the good news there.
Yeah, if not, you got a date with 100 on that thing.
What's the Nike news today?
Nike. No news today. I'm just
Nike.
No, there's news. There's news.
I'm looking in the ratings. Hold on a second.
We're jumping to conclusion that there's no news because I mean the stock's down at $1.95. It's probably news.
On 50,000 shares.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't matter the volume. That's actually pretty big volume for Nike at this time.
That's a lot.
KGI downgrades it to neutral.
KGI?
I don't know who KGI is.
I've never heard of that firm before. KGI.
I know. Hey, Brent, wake up. We got a lot of downgrades
what
here.
The heck is KGI? I never heard of that.
Seriously. Maybe it's in the pro.
I never heard of KGI before.
I know. They downgraded it, so there you go. Always assume when you see a stock, when the S&Ps are up 330 handles and your stock's trading down 1.8%, there's probably a headline.
Good call. Excellent.
All right, Joel. So Joel gave his thoughts on the chart, 105, if not 100. Let's move on here. Caterpillar. Oh boy.
Cat goes splat. Let me take a look at Caterpillar.
Kramer, 214 last week. He says buy it. He actually top ticked it, and I tweeted it out right after he said it. 2 seconds after he said it, I said I'd take the other side of it. I mean, It's unbelievable. You can talk and trash Kathy all he wants. I love Jim Cramer. I think he's funny. I think he's very good at his job. He's in a slump, man. He's in a real bad slump right now. He's top tick in everything.
Dennis and I were talking right before we hopped on here, and this is nothing to do with Caterpillar, sorry, but if you pull up a daily chart of the SPY or the S&P or whatever, and you had to guess what day this year did Jim Cramer say the bear market was over, it was the literal top take on March 20th.
Very close.
March 29th. It was the literal top take.
It was very close.
Basically the high since the middle of January.
Yeah,
right?
He said the bear market is over, and then the stocks went straight down for the last 2 months since he said that.
Yep.
I mean, Jim he knows coming. I like Jim. I laugh. I watch Mad Money. He makes me laugh. He's just slumping right now. He's in a huge slump, and he's got a little bit of the touch of death like Kathy had for a bit right now, where it seems like he mentioned something. Maybe it's selective perception on our part, but he's just been very wrong lately. I mean, he's going to step out of it. The problem is what he's accustomed to, and I can tell you where Jim's going wrong here right now. So CNBC producer that listens to us, you got to start Jim. Have him start. That's a little bit of a joke, but a little bit real. They got to start having him fade some stuff, because he's totally been momentum. He's totally been a momentum trader here for a long time. The stock's going up, he's buying. Stock's going down, he's selling, because that's worked. That worked in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. It's not working in 2022. The contrarian is king in 2022. So when you're seeing, oh yeah, it's a great report, it's up, let's buy that stock, it's going the other way. So you've got to adjust, and obviously, some people are slow to adjust. Sometimes I am as well. But I mean, this has been the fade trade year. And if you're making, momentum calls, you are struggling in 2022. So contrarian is winning, fading rips, selling rips, buying dips. We've been talking about it for 6 months. That's what's been working. We've been on it.
All right, you want to go back to Cat real fast, Joel, and give us your take?
194. I mean, I've seen this trading up a couple bucks. You can look, you can be all happy about it, but 194 was also another daily low. So you don't want to see it takes off from 194. Then just look at your other dailies: 190, 185, and then the low the move down at 180. Must hold level. These must hold levels are not really holding. I mean, what we've seen, they get close to them. I mean, two lows, same area, 194.
What's a momentum trade? It's a good question. We have newbies in here or newer traders. You got momentum and you got contrarian. A momentum trader is this stock is trending up. I'm going with the flow. Momentum's going here. I'm buying because everybody else is buying. Contrarian is saying, okay, it's just, went up too much too fast. I'm going to short it here, or if it's going straight down, I'm going to buy it here because it's going to reverse. And in a year of chop, the contrarian, the person, so momentum and contrarian traders are always trading with each other, meaning they're going directly against each other. Momentum trader, buying strength. The contrarian trader is selling strength. So in some markets, and we've been in this, raw momentum market for like 3-4 years. We were 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. It felt like the last 5 years been all momentum, but it's changed. We have changed now. So now we're into a contrarian market where when you're fading the moves, meaning you're going against the grain, stocks ripping higher, you're selling it, stocks flying lower, you're buying it. I mean, not all dips, it's been working better to sell the rips, but it's been a choppy market, which is what a lot of 2022, what we've seen, it's been trending down, but it still has been choppy in here. It's been the contrarian trades that have been making money. So
the other way to visualize that is there's an entire
maybe that's CNBC calling.
There's an entire class of technical indicators that are categorized as momentum indicators, right? RSI, MACD. These are quote unquote these are indicators that try to quantify momentum in some way, shape, or form. And when those indicators are working, we're in a momentum-driven market, and when they're not working, we're not. And haven't really been working too hot this year.
Got to be a momotarian.
There we go.
There's a new one.
That's a new one.
But hey, listen, we're coming up on the top of the hour here. I just there'll be no pre-market prep plus today. I'm going to be out for the remainder of the day. But I just wanted to mention
Canada Day off.
Yeah, I'm taking Canada Day off.
It's Memorial Day.
Michael Schneider asked about basket trading and momentum, basket trading, and Spencer's going to post a link. And this is to Rob Friesen, who I do pre-market prep with stock odds. He does a top 10 list every day, and as part of basket, stocks with based on the probabilities. He also gives a hedging vehicle. And quite a few people from this chat have signed up for it and talked to Rob, and they've been doing really well with it. So Spencer's going to put the link in there. Use the promo code PMP, and then for a follow up, not today, obviously, because Victoria Day, we talk about it at 10:30 on premarketprep.com. So everyone sign up for that. Everyone have a great trading session. We got to clear Friday's high, 49.50. On the downside, support at the close for now. That's 38.99.50. Everyone have a great day.
I put that link in the chat, and next to it I put the code. The code is PMP.
You're the best, Spencer.
PMP. It's pinned in the chat right now. Check it out. We're gonna hop as well, going over to live trading with Benzinga. Mitch is back in the saddle today. He's back from his crazy NFT conference, and I saw him tweeting out some stuff. He rubbed shoulders with some famous people over the weekend. Maybe he'll talk about that on live trading. So I'm going to end the show now. Please do us a solid and drop us a like if you can. We'd appreciate that. Hey, while you're there, if you haven't subscribed to our channel on YouTube, that would also help us out. And hey, check out benzinga.com/premarket. It's a redesigned pre-market page. This show is embedded there. You can watch us there. You can go get all the movers and all the news of the morning on benzinga.com/premarket. Thanks to our guest, Tim Quast. Please remember all the information from our show and every show we do here at Benzinga is for informational purposes only, not for investing or trading advice. That's it. Good luck at the open. Stay green. Catch you guys later.